Good afternoon.
Hello, hello.
I'm super happy and honored that I have you here today in my podcast. 10,
I'm glad you invited me. I'm very
10
happy.
times the spotlight. So today, this afternoon, I'm going to put the spotlight on you.
All
We're
right.
going to learn everything. We're going to put the eyeballs on you, and the whole country is going to know who Jaime Leizan.
You got it.
So let's talk about a little bit about, and you do a lot of things. So this is so great. So you do luxury real estate. You're
Yeah.
very well-rounded entrepreneur. Luxury real estate. You also do construction and design. Let's talk about a little bit about your background. Tell me a little bit about your journey. How did you get into luxury real estate?
um, well, I don't want to make it boring.
Oh no, you're
But
not boring. I know you're not boring.
well, originally I'm from Puerto Rico. I
Mhm.
lived there most of my life. The year 2013, I decided to take my wife and kids. They were young, and move them to Orlando. I wasn't a real estate agent. I'm a general contractor. At my family background, general contractor
Mhm.
and real estate developers. Okay,
Okay.
that's what my dad did all his life. So he, through time, accumulated, properties, industrial and commercial properties. I grew up. I went to college, and then I went to work with him. So I was like his shadow all the time. Everything I know, I learned from him. Um, and I work in the construction business since I was very young. Uh, Summertime, I was working at job sites with my brother. Everything.
When you say
Um,
everything, is like from the job that nobody want to do
yeah, yeah. My
to
dad got
everything.
us through every single part of the job from the ground up. So we were working on foundations in the mud, moving dirt. We were working on painting, installing doors, framing, everything.
Okay.
And then when I finished college and I went home and started working with him full time, I was working on both sides of the business, working on the construction side of the business and working on real estate development side of the business. Uh, in the latter years that I was there in Puerto Rico, my dad got older and he got sick, so he had to pull back a little bit from, well, actually a lot from his business, and I started working, him taking care of the properties business. So I was, working from finding sites, doing feasibility studies, um, designing whatever it was that it was going to be built
Mhm.
in that site, and then we go through the construction process with our company, and then took that building. I was in charge of finding prospects, tenants, finding lease, and
So you
everything.
did it
And after
all.
that, doing the property management. So that's what I still do from from Orlando. I still manage all the family properties in Rico as well. But going back to what you were asking, I came to Orlando in 2013. The construction business is very, very tough. You gotta get up very, very early and work long hours, and it's very stressful. So I felt like I wasn't giving my kids the you know best quality time that I had available. Whenever I had the time, I left my home very early in the morning. They were still sleeping. When I got back home, they were almost ready to get to bed. So I wasn't giving them very good time, and I said, you know what, I need to be doing something where I can take my kids to school, pick them up from school, take them to the little league, maybe coach them if I can. But I want to spend time with them, especially when they're growing up, because once they grow up, that's all gone, right? And so that's why I decided to come. I decided to come to Orlando, and I spent 6 months in Orlando. I thought I was going to buy a gas station. Okay.
That's so random from
Yeah.
construction to gas station.
Yeah.
But no, it's not that random because in Puerto Rico, it's very common. It's a good business
It's a
there.
good business. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Here, I find out, with time, that it's not as good as in Puerto
it's in
Rico.
Puerto Rico.
It's very different, the business here in Florida. But that was my thought. I thought I'm gonna get into retail. I'm gonna buy my, a gas station, and I'm gonna work there from. That's what I'm gonna do. 6 months later, after looking at a bunch of gas stations and learning about the business, it was clear to me that I couldn't do that. I'm, my natural self is more, dynamic. I like going out, meeting people, and doing different things every day. I'm not very structured, so I'm just thinking about waking up every morning and doing the same thing every day for the rest of my life was like, I cannot do
Painful.
this. Yeah, so I decided to put that in the back burner. I'm not gonna buy any gas station. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna get into real estate. I know real estate because I've been doing, you know, some kind of real estate in Puerto Rico, doing property management and doing all these things for my dad and with the family business. It's like a cousin of what I do. So maybe I'll do good. And real estate is gonna be flexible enough where I can manage my time. So I got into real estate, and I met someone in the real estate in the real estate class. We became very good friends, and we decided to uh, open up our own franchise uh, instead of joining. I don't want to get into that now, but just going back to what you were saying, I think I got sidetracked of the question that you made. Um, why did I decide to
What did you decide about?
to get into luxury real estate? It was just a coincidence. Orlando, at that time, Orlando wasn't well known for luxury anything. You know, Orlando has changed a lot in the past years, big time. But at that time, you know, um, I like I said, I got into real estate. I decided to open up my own franchise, my own office. In the time that we were, you know, going through the process of opening up that office, um, uh, there was a Remax owner, broker owner, that was good friends with my partner, my business partner, and he was helping us with that process. And we were renting a space. We wanted to open up an office in Dr. Phillips. It was called Remax Magic. Called it Remax Magic.
That remind me like the time when the Magic's the basketball team was really like up, like around that time. So maybe have something to
That's correct.
the name
So
resonates.
So yeah, and Disney World,
Exactly, the
Magic. So
Magic.
let's
Yeah,
do Remax Magic.
I
So
like it.
so at that time, I hung my license. I just got my license in real estate. I hung it on this guy's office. He had a Remax in Oviedo. My first client, my very very first transaction was $1,365,000.
I was ready to ask you about that. That was my next question after all this. Who was your first client, high-end client, luxury, and what did you learn from that?
Well, it was crazy because it was my first transaction. Never sold
Huge,
any real estate.
huge.
Yeah, and this guy Gary, he was the owner of that office in Oviedo. Super nice guy, super knowledgeable, been in the real estate business for 30, 40 years, and he was like. He couldn't believe it. He said, "I've been in this business over 30 years. I've never sold a house over $1 million, and your first transaction is over $1 million." And at that time, you really couldn't find many multi-million dollar homes for sale in Orlando. That was unheard of. It's not like now. Now you cannot find anything less than that.
Exactly.
Uh, so everybody was like, "Oh my God, how do you get this deal?" And it was, you know, I don't know. I think I was blessed and lucky. I met this couple, and we hit it off, and we became friends, and they were talking about that they wanted to buy a house in after a while, right?
Hmm.
I wasn't in real estate when we met. That they wanted to buy a house in Orlando. They are from out of the country, and when they learned that I was in real estate, they said, "You know what? Help us." So I helped them out, and I'll tell you what I learned. Not with that transaction, but with transactions after that, I learned that selling a multi-million dollar home is the same work as selling a two. You have to put in the same amount.
But don't you think the client, when you are in that luxury space, that are so demanding, Don't you feel like that you
that's
have to
what you
kind of
think.
like,
That's what you think, and they are. So when you are, when you are spending or investing large amounts of money like
mhm.
that, purchasing a home, you have, uh, some requirements, and you are more specific of what it is that. And remember something. At that time, things are changed. Right,
Yes.
big time, big time, big time. Clients have become very, very, very soft.
Give me an example. For example, I have somebody like last week, he was talking about different communities, no? We're talking about niches. And somebody say like, it was an agent, and they say like, I would love to get into working with the Brazilian community.
Yeah.
But they are so demanding. I have to send like a VIP car, like a van to the airport to pick them up, or I have to do this and I have to do that. It's like they expect certain niche of clients,
Yeah.
luxury. They expect certain treatment. So did you
Well,
find that
no,
happened to you, or
that's
it's
not my
not?
experience. And
Okay.
I'll tell you something about Brazilians. What I've learned.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanna connect with a Brazilian client and gain their trust and have them work with you, it's a lot of work, because in Brazil there's the exclusivity of working with a just one agent. It doesn't exist. Okay, if you are a Brazilian in Brazil and you want to sell property, they typically work with multiple agents. It's normal. Okay, here it doesn't work like that.
Exactly.
Once you're working with someone, you're working with that person. You're not supposed to be working with multiple. So Brazilians, they come here and they want to do what they do back home, right? It's not that they're bad people or anything, or they don't. It's just that they're used
They're
to.
used to it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I want to. They tell you, I want to purchase a home like this, and they talk to another agent and they say, yeah, find a home for me. I'll buy it. If you find me something I like, I'll buy it. And it's not. It's in their nature, right?
Yeah.
But because here it doesn't work like that, having them say, okay, I'm not going to work with nobody else, I'm just going to work with you, you have to be above and beyond. You have to show them. That's why you're
That's
seeing
what
things like
seems
you
like
were
what I'm
talking about.
saying, no?
Yeah, that you have to send them, people to the airport and pick them
Yeah.
up, and you have to go above and beyond, so they can say, no, I'm
Like, so
working with this guy.
it's almost like why, like you have to wow them.
Correct.
Yes.
Agree.
Okay. What about different, like for example, different demographic? What about the Latin versus the Anglo-Sajon, like when it comes to luxury?
Yeah.
What is your experience in that market? Just to enlighten people out there, because I'm
Well,
pretty sure, because
it's-
you have done it pretty much all. They're pretty sure, like, okay, and
I'll put it to you very easy, very
you
simple.
speak English and Spanish. You have the both clientele.
I'll make it very simple for
Tell
you.
me.
Being a real estate agent and working with people, you need to have some type of patience, because everybody is their own. There are 8 billion worlds in
Exactly.
Earth that we live in. Everybody has their own way of thinking and their own way of doing things, and you have to adjust, right? When I started doing, I moved to Orlando, got my license, and I started, going everywhere that I could and meeting all the people that I could, right? Doing networking and going to events and stuff like that. And a friend of mine who is a wealth manager, he invited me to an event that he did. And he invited, I don't know, maybe 12 people, whatever. So I met a doctor there, lady doctor. She's a businesswoman, incredible business. Love her to today. Um, she owns, I don't know, like 7, 8, 9 offices, uh, pediatric. And we were talking, and he gave me advice. And that's what I want to resume your question with. He told me, when dealing here with Latin and Americans, this is what you're going to notice. An American who's ready to purchase something, he'll come to you and he's going to say, this is what I want. Once you find it, the trigger, and they're going to, no question asked, dancing around.
Okay.
It's going to be very simple. I want this. If you find that, they're going to buy it. With Hispanics, it's not like that. They're gonna tell you, "I want a red apple," and you're gonna bring them the red apple, the shiniest red apple, and they're gonna dance around it. They're gonna say, "Oh yeah, I love it," But let me see. Let me ask my. I have to bring my. I have to talk to my mom, and I have to bring my son, and I have to wait. Well, I'm going on a trip next week. But when I come back, I'll take a look at it. They're ready to buy it. They know they want it. They have the money. They have the financing. They're ready, and they want to buy it, but they cannot pull the trigger immediately. It's something that we Hispanics have.
So
It's
how
just,
do you work with that?
well,
What do you do?
you have to adjust.
Okay.
You have to know that beforehand, and you have to know what is going to happen, so you can prepare everything and set expectations. The seller needs to know that you have a client willing and able, and he's ready to pull the trigger, but it's going to take a while. Give me a chance. I'm going to get there. And with the buyer, well, you cannot push them. You know what they want. You know they're ready to pull the trigger, but they're gonna dance around it a little bit because it's just in their nature.
Yes.
So you take it slow, and you allow them their space to do their dancing, and they'll finally pull the trigger. But we as agents, we can get desperate because
You want that commission.
yeah, we don't get paid until we close, right?
Exactly.
So you're working with a client for a month, 2 months, 3 months. You're not getting paid. So, and then you find exactly what they want. They love it. You've been there 4 times. They brought their mom, their son, their daughter-in-law,
dog.
everybody. And they are super excited every time they go there. I love this house. I want it. And you're like, okay, well, let's buy it. And that process it takes. So that's basically the biggest difference I can tell between Hispanics and Americans. That the Americans are a little bit more black and white, and they're ready and they go. We Hispanics, we like to take our time.
It's like a telenovela.
Sí,
I call it.
exactamente.
So let's talk about, you talk about how you started your beginnings in Puerto Rico, how you moved your family here, your desires, and I appreciate and I can resonate so much with what you're saying because I have a son.
Yeah.
So to me it's very interesting how I was trying to balance. And it's not balance. I was trying to balance a high-level job in aviation, with a lot of traveling with my son. He just turned 4. So it got to the point that you have to understand the family and what is important to us, as an entrepreneur. So I appreciate and I can kind of like connect when you were talking about. So you talk about construction, you talk about now project management. Let's talk about and real estate, luxury real estate. Let's talk about a little bit about design. Because I want my audience to understand that you're so well-rounded. I have in front of me somebody that, first of all, you have a lot of charisma. It's crazy. It comes easy. Maybe that's the reason you got that a million point something, sell. And other people,
Maybe.
and you saw other people couldn't, and maybe they do it longer, So, but let's talk about, cuéntame un poquito about Renova, design and build. And I want to hear about your wife, that I know she's involved in that. She has a beautiful mind. I cannot wait to meet her. So let's talk a little bit about that, and by the way, he have a website that I want everybody to check it out. It's renovadv with b.com. And when I look at your website, I felt so I was like, and I told you this, I was like, I hope I win the lottery because I want everything that he has there. So you guys have to go and check it out again. And I will put it on the description at some point, my web people and my Eric guy will do it. But it's so sleek, so modern, so clean. The lines are beautiful. Everything looks so green. Like when I mean green, it's like the material looks like they come from, I don't know, like very eco-friendly or something like that. It's just different because I have seen other design and construction and all that, but this have a different line, different feel. It reminds me when I travel internationally to Europe and I have to do business for aviation with different construction companies over there in Amsterdam and in the Dutch, really have that feel. So tell me about that and tell the audience about it, what that beautiful mind comes. And I kind of encourage everybody to go and check it out, this website.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, my wife, she's incredible. and I love her very much. She she's an interior designer.
What is
Uh,
her name?
her name is Barbara.
Okay.
Barbara Gonzalez, and in Puerto Rico, she went to school to el Colegio de Mayagüez. She went to college there, and she graduated two bachelor degrees, one in finance and one in marketing. And after she finalized that, she went to the School of Design of San Juan. Um, they specialize in interior design. She went there and she studied there for 4 years. Actually, she finished her career there while she was pregnant of my oldest son.
Amazing.
She was doing building maquetas. I don't know how to say that in English.
I
She
don't know
was
either.
she was doing maquetas. This is
Like
2000.
whiteboards,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
Whiteboards. Yeah.
That's 2005.
Yeah.
There wasn't SketchUp or anything like that. When no 3D model renderings and stuff like that. Everything was done on whiteboards and mood boards that she had to create with magazine and stuff like that. But she was pregnant with a huge belly, and she was doing all these maquetas, working overnight, doing all nighters. And she finished and she graduated and she did great, and she has an incredible mind. She's super creative and everything she does is incredibly beautiful. Having said that, we moved to Orlando, and she wasn't doing interior design when we moved here in 2013. She was focusing on her dad business. Her dad owns a business in Puerto Rico, and she has always been like her dad's right hand person. So when we moved here, she said, "You know what? I'm gonna take off doing. I'm gonna focus on the kids. I'm focused on helping my dad." And I said, "Okay, that's fine. I'm doing real estate. I'm not doing anything else. So beautiful." And we wanted to have as much time available for our kids. Our kids, since then, our kids obviously have grown older. My oldest kid is in his second year in college now, and my youngest is a freshman in high school. So we found ourselves with a lot of time in our hands in the past few years. And she told me, you know what, I'm thinking about getting into doing interior design again. She has a very good taste. Uh, all her friends love everything that she does. She has a very good fashion instinct, and she dresses beautifully, and everybody's always telling her how good she looks, and they were complimenting her on her house and the things that she's done in the house, and they always ask her for ideas. Hey, what do you think if I do this and that? And she said, you know what, I want to get into that. I said, well, you know what, I'll help you. I have time, so get into design, and I'll do the construction part of the business. So we got into it. Um,
Total power couple move
yeah,
there.
yeah, and it's been incredible. We have a great group of friends here in Orlando that have you know giving us the opportunity to work with them and work in their houses and do renovations for them and different things, and we appreciate the hell out of them. They've launched our career here on that side of the business, and we're super grateful for them for that. We appreciate them very very much, and 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 it's been great. We've done my wife, I love her way of designing the things, that the way that
I love it too, by
yeah,
the way.
and she, what you were saying, she's like things very organic. She has her own style, and she likes blending in earthy tones, woods, metal, glass. Make it very organic, and
It's
that's why you
almost
see all of that.
like honestly, it's almost like an art, like she's doing art.
Hmm.
It's very interesting to me because I have seen a lot of constructions and stuff. I have a question like in that kind of line, like how you guys help a client to visualize, like, for example, through a staging and design visualization. Do you have like a program that does that? How do you help a client to see your vision? Because I don't think everybody have that mind that you and your wife has, and it's hard to see it. Like I can say, okay, but it's organic, it's gonna be this, but some people will not get it. And it might miss in an opportunity to have some product at the end, high end and amazing and special, almost like a piece of art. So how you guys, what system you use, what is that process a little bit?
Well, that's a great question, and it's great because you know people need to be educated because sometimes they have ideas in their mind and they want to get stuff done and they don't have like a roadmap to get there, and getting there can be very difficult and very expensive. So our motto is we wanna help you achieve your ambition, what you want for your home, and make it very, very, very high end on a budget. I, we don't like to design with everything most expensive thing. We want to make it very, very nice, functional, that you have that it generate emotions for you. You feel like you're getting an extraordinary place every day, your house, but you don't have to break the bank for it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And we have today the technology is incredible. We use a program that it's called SketchUp,
Okay.
and we do all our 3D model designs on SketchUp, and we have photo rendering uh, programs as well that are photorealistic. So one of the things that we always say on our website and our Instagram account is, design now and build anytime. So the idea is, if you don't have a master plan of what you want to do, it's like basically if you're gonna do a business, you need to create a business plan first, right?
Exactly.
You don't go into a business just like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. You need to create a business plan and have everything, because then you know step by step what you're gonna do, and you can follow that, and that's gonna help you be successful. So the same thing is doing the design. What you're asking, if you want to do a renovation in your home, we can come in and we can create the whole palette for you. If you want to do or want to do something in your patio, you want to do something in your garage, you want to do something in your kitchen, in your bathroom, in your you want to do an expansion, whatever it is, we can design that for you, create a 3D model, photorealistic renders. You will see it like it was picture or a video of it real life. You'll have um, furniture layouts. You'll have everything spread out. You'll see
It's
exactly how
like a
it's going to
movie.
work. It's like a
You're
movie.
part of the movie.
Correct. And we do what they call e-design or virtual design. So we don't really need to sit together, or you don't need to be in Orlando for us to do it for you. We're doing designs in Georgia, we're doing designs in Puerto Rico, we're doing designs in Tampa, we're doing designs in Miami, because it's all online and you're gonna see exactly what you're gonna end up getting. And we put in our Instagram a lot of before and afters, and we put the renders and the actual work when it's done, and it looks exactly the same. Sometimes you cannot tell one of the other, because we're gonna put in there the exact materials that you're gonna use, you know, and everything is gonna be specified. So this tile brand from this manufacturer, from this supplier, all of that is going to be there. And that makes it very easy for you. And then when you have all that information, you can say, okay, so I'm going to start with the kitchen, I'm going to start with the bathroom. But you know that everything is going to be cohesive when you finish. Everything is going to be, because you have a master plan, everything's laid out to match. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, at some point I'm going to call you, because I'm just like, it's my dream. I have it in my head, my dream home. And you're like, I wanted to repeat the website
Yeah.
again. Just
Yeah.
put it out there again. What is the name again? Let's go back.
Well, the company is called Renova Design Build, because we design and we build.
Exactly.
So the website is Renova DB, Design Build, Renova DB.
And B as in boy.
B as in boy.
.com.
RenovaDB.com. And our Instagram handle is at RenovaDB.
And I will encourage everybody to go and see it, and take a look of this website, because I'm pretty sure you're going to be like calling him for more information. So I want to pivot a little bit, and this small session, I want to do it in Spanish for
Okay.
your and my Spanish audience.
Perfect.
Because we have that ability, thank God. So we're going to talk about social media a little bit, and how social media and personal branding have shaped your business. So, básicamente voy a virarlo un poquito para el español, para
Ok.
nuestra audiencia latina e hispana, porque él tiene mucha y yo también. Y vamos a hablar de la parte, ya que hablamos de todo esto, y yo sé que ustedes lo entienden allá afuera, pero quise darle un poquito de sabor latino de social media. Cómo él ha utilizado en este DNA, como decimos, el social media ahora para su personal branding, su marca personal, y cómo eso ha construido su negocio y cómo también ha ayudado a colaborar con diferentes designers, con diferentes builders, diferentes lo que llaman stagers en esta era de social media. Es una
Mira,
pregunta media larga, pero tú la puedes resumir más o menos.
sí, bueno, mira, yo te voy a ser
Ya
bien
que las
honesto.
mencionamos, las
¿Ah?
plataformas, ya que
Sí,
primero mencionamos las plataformas, ahora quiero como que cerrarlo un poquito con eso.
te voy a ser bien honesto.
Por favor.
Yo no soy el experto en las redes sociales. Mi esposa es.
Ok.
Estudio marketing. Ahora sí te puedo decir una cosa. Yo que llevo trabajando con real estate desde el año 2013 aquí en Orlando, yo he visto cómo drásticamente ha cambiado cómo se hace para bien. Ok, las herramientas de las redes sociales, gran herramienta. A mí nunca me hubiese pasado realmente hacer lo que estoy haciendo contigo hoy.
I'm so proud.
Esto
Estoy
es,
súper orgullosa y tengo un honor bien grande.
esto es increíble y me parece genial. O sea, eh, las últimas elecciones de presidencia de los Estados Unidos, se estuvo hablando mucho de esto, de que el presidente Trump tuvo una gran ventaja
Ujú.
porque su hijo de 18 años lo convenció de que él tenía que ir a los podcasts. ¿Ok? Porque el impacto de los podcasts que está teniendo sobre la sociedad hoy es increíble. Y él no podía darse el lujo de decir, no, no voy a ir a los podcasts y ganar las elecciones. No, papá, usted quiere ganar las elecciones, usted tiene que ir a los podcasts, a Joe Rogan, tiene que ir a donde... Y él lo hizo y se notó que las elecciones, el hombre logró que la juventud y los hispanos votaran en grandes cantidades mucho más de lo que habían votado en las elecciones pasadas. O sea que definitivamente el impacto de él haber tomado esa decisión favoreció grandemente para que él ganara las elecciones. O sea que esto que está pasando ahora, esto que estamos haciendo, definitivamente, eh, no quiero decir es el futuro porque ya es el presente,
Es el
¿verdad? Y
presente.
va a seguir desarrollándose.
Pero
Eh,
impacta
es increíble.
tremendamente el negocio.
Es increíble, es increíble. Hoy en día vemos hay muchos agentes que son increíblemente talentosos, por lo menos creando mercadeo. Yo soy de una generación, que soy bien honesto, de la manera que he hecho negocio y como yo he prosperado, ha sido a base de preparación. Yo creo en la preparación.
Traer un
¿Ok?
valor.
Correcto. Yo
Estar bien
creo
preparado cuando llegas a la mesa de negociación, cuando estás haciendo un plano, tú vas
lo que sea,
preparado con todo lo, como dicen ahí,
100%.
blindado, como dicen los latinos.
Ahorita estábamos hablando me preguntaba sobre los brasileros, que ellos
Ujú.
ven cómo tú atraes a un cliente, ¿verdad? En mi manera de serlo es preparación. Yo necesito que cuando ese cliente hable conmigo, se dé cuenta que él está hablando con el experto,
Exacto.
con una persona que se va a encargar de atender lo que ellos quieren y que los va a proteger sus intereses no matter what.
Estoy de acuerdo,
Y,
es
que,
110%.
y esa es mi forma
Ujú.
de pensar. Pero yo veo que hoy en día hay un talento en cuestión del mercadeo, lo que hacen, cómo hablan, cómo se expresan, cómo hacen sus videos. Yo recuerdo, llevo suficientes años en este negocio para que recibir videos de YouTube de una persona que está haciendo título, una persona que está haciendo financiamiento, que me mandan, en vez de mandarme un mensaje de texto, se grababan un videíto de 15 segundos en YouTube con su teléfono. Hola Jaime, ¿cómo estás? Estoy llamando para darte follow-up, qué sé yo qué. En vez de escribirme un mensaje de texto, me mandaban un videíto. ¿Pero qué es esto? Un videíto, tú sabes, como que estaba empezando esa era y la gente empezando a ponerse cómoda en grabarse.
Exacto.
Y wow, mira lo que se ha convertido, tú sabes. Ahora tú no puedes poner fotos en las redes sociales solamente de tu propiedad. ahora te hacen un video como si fuese una
Unos
producción
drone.
de una película, con drones y entra por aquí. Tú sabes, unas cosas que yo
I
digo,
love it.
wow, y oye, me encanta,
Fabuloso,
espectacular,
espectacular.
espectacular. No sé la capacidad de la gente, no sé la capacidad de ellos poder eh, trabajar con ese cliente y brindarle un servicio de altura en cuestión de conocimiento y tener ese know-how, ¿verdad? Pero en cuestión de marketing.
Eso es algo que es bien interesante que tú lo tocaste y es algo que a mí personalmente cuando trabajo y hago consultoría de business development y de ventas a diferentes emprendedores allá afuera, es algo que yo me preocupa si yo no veo que traen un valor y que conocen la industria. Porque yo siempre digo, el bailar allá afuera en Instagram al
¿No?
final y al cabo te va a poner los ojos en ti, pero no te va a sostener. Y otra cosa es the word of mouth, lo que llaman los referidos. Eso es otra cosa que tiene mucho poder. No, entonces, yo entiendo que lo que tú estás haciendo, el tener, como dicen, la carne de verdad, el meat of the reality, traer un valor y todo eso es súper importante y ser el real deal, lo que llaman. Pero a la misma vez, estoy bien contenta por ti porque también estás incursionando ahora en ponerte allá afuera más, traer más ojos a tu website, a tu producción, a tu negocio. Y yo siempre digo, la gente me dice, ay, no, porque no quiero que me vean o no quiero que sepan de mi vida. Digo, tú no tienes que poner nada privado, tú no tienes que poner nada que tú no quieras poner allá
Ya no
afuera.
podemos ser agentes secretos.
Exacto. Pero un ejemplo, yo a mi hijo, yo no lo quiero poner.
Ujú.
Y es algo que es mi prerrogativa.
Claro.
Yo cuando él sea grande, que tenga su edad ya mayor, si él quiere estar, que lo más seguro va a decir que sí, porque eso es lo que están haciendo hoy en día, yo lo ayudaré y lo monitorearé. Pero ahora que tiene 4 años, yo no quiero a mi hijo en las redes sociales, punto. Pero yo les enseño todo lo demás que yo quiero que ellos vean del negocio, del valor que yo puedo traer, de la colaboración que podemos hacer, ese tipo de situación, you know? Y yo estoy totalmente de acuerdo contigo que si tú eres un agente allá afuera o una persona, como decimos, un entrepreneur allá afuera y no estás tratando de entender qué es lo que está pasando con las redes sociales y con todo lo que es media, como le llaman la media allá
Social
afuera,
media, sí.
social media, yo pienso que estás missing out una parte del negocio,
No, te diría que una gran parte del
una gran
negocio
parte.
y no vas a tener posibilidades de éxito.
Y tú sabes qué es lo bueno de esto, que la mayoría de las social media es gratis.
Sí,
YouTube es gratis.
sí.
O sea, no te va a costar miles y miles y miles y miles de dólares.
Bueno,
So,
lo que uno tiene que hacer es desarrollar la confianza de crear ese contenido
exacto.
y, y empezar, porque ya es como correr bicicleta. Al principio te caes 2 o 3 veces, pero después corres lo suficiente que empiezas a saltar y si quieres puedes saltar rampas y de todo, ¿verdad? Y hacer piruetas y demás. Pues lo mismo pasa con esto, que es cuestión de ponerse eh, eh, en confianza. Y después de hacerlo muchas veces, ya se convierte en algo natural. Y lo estamos viendo cada vez más y más, porque hay tanto cerdo ya haciendo lo que es súper natural.
Exacto.
Entonces ya es como que algo eh, que va a ser la norma.
La norma, exacto. Esa era la palabra, no me salía en español, gracias. La norma. Y otra cosa es que para mí funciona, y yo creo que para ti a lo mejor también, en el caso tuyo, tú tienes mucha experiencia en lo que haces. So, es algo que tienes ese, como lo que le llaman you can fall back con ese cushion ahí de que tú sabes lo que estás hablando. So, para ti no debe ser nada de ansiedad sentarte a hablar en un podcast de tu experiencia de trabajo o de vida, porque la has tenido y has hecho todo el research y has tenido errores, has hecho exitoso, has sido exitoso, ese tipo de situación. Cuando a mí me preguntan a veces, no, que no quiero hacer esto, yo le digo, quítate el spotlight en ti, valga la redundancia con el nombre de mi podcast.
Buenísimo.
Por eso fue que lo hice, porque yo no quiero necesariamente hablar de mí, yo quiero vamos a quitar el spotlight de mí y vamos a ponérselo a la persona allá afuera, en la parte de lo que es un cliente, todo lo que es business development, entrepreneurship, emprendedores, y me parece que eso es algo bien bonito si lo miras de esa parte de ese punto de vista, ¿no?
Correcto, correcto.
No
A
tiene que ser about me.
al final del día, bueno, no debería ser de ti,
Exacto.
actually. O sea, yo me veo como que nosotros estamos aquí como una herramienta para educar y ayudar a las personas a lograr las metas que ellos están haciendo. O sea, nosotros somos vendedores, básicamente. O sea, siempre, todo en la vida es una negociación. Eh, y cuando yo le estoy brindando mis servicios a un cliente, sea en diseñador, como contratista, como realtor, mi main focus, ¿ok? La meta mía es entender lo que él quiere, escucharlo, aprender qué es lo que ellos necesitan para nosotros poder entonces ayudarlo. Porque
Exacto.
yo no te voy a ayudar a ti igual que como voy a ayudar a cualquier otra persona, porque tienen metas y deseos y goals diferentes.
Exacto.
¿Me entiendes? Entonces, para eso yo me tengo que salir del medio. Yo no puedo
Exacto.
pensar en mí y que el spotlight es sobre mí. Es sobre ti.
Exacto.
¿Entiendes? Y de
Exacto.
eso se trata.
De eso se trata. Y entonces te voy a decir que me termines esta oración. Yo siempre hago esto como que un poquito jocoso al final.
Okay.
Finish this sentence. Luxury real estate is really about blank.
Wow. Pues mira, in English.
En English y después
Okay.
la traducimos.
All right. All right.
Luxury real estate is really about.
I'm gonna give you a pretty thorough definition of what I think.
Go for it.
I don't think luxury real estate is about a price or a number. I think luxury real estate is more about emotion. It's more about what it means for that client. Okay, what that house means for that client. So basically, what we want to try to do is, as a luxury real estate agent, is craft a lifestyle, right? So we want to make sure that that emotion is there, that 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 there's pride. You know, we
Mhm.
want to make sure that, like I said earlier, that client uh, is arriving at a place that is extraordinary for them every single day.
Beautiful.
Okay,
Beautiful.
so that's what's real estate luxury for me.
Love it. Love it. Thank you so much. ¿Quieres
Pleasure.
decirlo un poquito en español?
Uh,
Para cerrar, yo siempre les pregunto cuál es una frase. Y le pregunté, ¿qué es, vamos a decir, dilo tú en español,
el real estate de lujo.
de lujo, ¿qué es realmente, cómo tú describirías eso?
Sí, pues le estaba diciendo que para mí el real estate de lujo no es necesariamente un precio o un número. Hablan de que, bueno, una casa de lujo, una casa que vale $1 millón. No, no necesariamente. Realmente es la emoción que te genera esa casa, el orgullo que usted tiene por esa casa, es crear un estilo de vida. O sea, hay casas de $1 millón y hay casas de $100 millones. Entonces, tú me vas a decir porque hay una casa de 100 millones, la de $1 millón no es de lujo. No
Exacto.
necesariamente, son clientes distintos. O sea, que
Como un concepto.
se trata
El
realmente,
luxury es un concepto.
es realmente de cómo tú te sientes, qué es lo que significa para ti como cliente. Ese cliente, ¿qué significa eso para ellos? ¿Okay?
Exacto.
Yo le daba ejemplo a un amigo mío una vez que él me estaba criticando de un señor que se compró un carro que 600. Jamás en mi vida me compraré un carro de $600. Y yo le digo, ¿qué carro tú manejas? Dice, yo manejo un Mercedes-Benz. Yo le digo, hay gente que pregunta, ellos te van a decir que ellos jamás se gastarían el dinero en un Mercedes-Benz. Para ellos un carro de lujo a lo mejor es un Toyota Camry con todos los power. ¿Ok? O sea que todo es muy
Percepción.
de la perspectiva que tú lo estás viendo y a quién le estás preguntando. Muy
Exacto.
individual. O sea que realmente es about emotion, es de emociones.
No tiene
Tú
que ver
sabes,
nada con el precio, no tiene que ver nada con
es la
nada.
emoción
Es
que
la
se te
emoción
genera.
que tú sientes.
Es asegurarte que estás creándole un lifestyle a ese cliente, que cada vez que él llega a su casa, él se sienta que está llegando a un lugar que es extraordinario. Para él. No tiene que ser extraordinario para más nadie.
Exacto.
Para él es extraordinario. Eso es real estate de lujo.
Qué belleza. Bueno, vamos a decirte otra vez, gracias por estar aquí en el en mi podcast, pretty much, 10 Times the Spotlight. Y te agradezco por haber venido, por tu tiempo. eres espectacular, me muero por conocer a tu esposa y les exhorto a todos que vayan al website y miren todo, al website, al Instagram, al Facebook también tiene todo lo que está haciendo. Yo voy a ponerlo todo abajo para que sepan dónde ir. Muchas gracias otra vez.
Gracias a ti, Rita. Fue un honor y te agradezco mucho la
Placer.
oportunidad.
Placer.
Gracias.
Gracias.